It's time for the Shop Live with your hosts, Glenn and Matt.
Ooh, here we are, live on the Shop Live.
Aren't we doing a song?
Yes, it's Christmas time. Tonight's the night that Santa comes, round the world the reindeer run, bringing joy to all the kids. Most leave him milk and chocolate chips.
Chips?
Tonight I leave a beer out for Santa. The cookies and the koozies full of cheers. But down the chimney down with the presents. There'll be a cold one waiting for him this year. I know he's working up a sweat for Christmas. Round and round and roof to roof he goes. Tonight I'll leave a beer out for Santa. I might stay up and have one with him too. I can't wait to see old Saint Nick just smiling. He sits pack by the fireplace. We all know that Rudolph does the driving. So what's more before he gets his way? Tonight I'll leave a beer out for Santa. He slides down the chimney with the bridge. He slides down with the chimney with the presents. There'll be a cold one waiting for him here. He's working up a sweat this Christmas. Riding round and round, roof to roof he goes. Tonight I'll leave a beer out for Santa. I might stay up and have one with him too. Yeah, you know he's working up a sweat this Christmas. Driving round and round and round from roof to roof. Tonight I'll leave a beer out for Santa. Yeah, I might stay up and have one with him too. Yeah, tonight I'll leave a beer out for Santa. I might stay out and have one with him too.
John, right?
Yes.
That's funny. So our guests tonight, Donna and Leroy, I was mentioning what songs we were doing, and they were like, "Oh, I remember him." And they've got a little different connection to some of the artists that we do on the show, right? Absolutely. But they are hanging out with us tonight, and we do have some other special things. And as a matter of fact, on this, our 6th episode of season number 4, we should probably take a couple moments to thank some of our very gracious help and sponsors that we have, including Country Music Alberta.
The Firehouse Pub and Grill, where we're sitting at right now with a live studio audience.
Yay! And we should mention right off the bat that the Firehouse has got some great entertainment going all through the week as well. All the way, New Year's is going to be a big night as well. But we will not be here on the next Monday because it is Christmas. And then we're not here the next Monday after that because it is New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, yeah.
So we'll be back after that, and and we'll be here live at the Firehouse. So also our friends at Zero Square Tiny Homes,
Bobcat Jerry,
and Bobcat Matt,
Origin, thank you Origin,
and of course Club Car Beverages. I feel like we're missing one in there.
Maybe Aspen Crossing.
Oh yeah. That's probably how could I miss that? All right,
I don't know. So we have a special train song for Aspen Crossing.
So that was picking
Come
up. Whoa!
Come on, train.
Come on, train. Oh man, nothing works like it used to. Terry Bell, a little Christmas blues tune called Christmas Train. Gonna ride that Christmas train, gotta get home by Christmas time. I gotta ride that Christmas train, gotta get home by Christmas time. Gotta find my baby somewhere down the line. Well, snow is falling down, and smoke is coming from the stack. The smoke is falling down, oh, smoke is coming from the stack. Gotta get home by Christmas, I'm rolling down the track. Oh, yeah. And I'm going back into the station. I gotta get my baby back. Christmas train. Gonna ride that Christmas train. I'm gonna ride that Christmas train. I'm gonna ride that Christmas train. Gonna ride that Christmas train. Gonna get my little hound by Christmas time. Something like that. Look at that Christmas blues song. Look at that. I feel like we're already rolling down the track that fast. And especially with our friends at Aspen Crossing, they do have the Polar Express, and it is still going. I think they go just right through.
They get busier and busier as we get closer to Christmas.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Do they go on, like, Christmas Day, too?
I'm not sure.
I would think that they might, but it's such a good family play. Maybe they don't, but I could see them doing it either way and stuff. But take a look and see if there's any extra tickets and go and get down and do the Polar Express. It's definitely something worth doing as you're transported magically to the North Pole. Very, very fun. So the next part of our evening's procession of entertainment is that we have a Zero Squared sponsored clean road story. That's right.
Oh, yes.
So, and for this, we're going to be bringing on our guests just a little early, but let's get the intro in there, and then we'll be right back. All right. So, as we're getting the camera going, we've got ourselves a Zero Squared clean road story. Now, Donna and Leroy are joining us just a little early because the moment I suggested this as being something that was an idea, they both said, "Well, I got one." So, I think Leroy, you had the story you wanted to tell, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yes, we got a really good road story. It's a good, clean story.
It's hard to narrow it down to just one.
We were playing with a fellow by the name of Freddie Pelche, who's a fine Canadian guitarist, up in Prince Albert, and we were doing a little tour with him and Donnie Peranto from Number One West TV show.
Yeah, and it was wintertime. It was the dead of winter.
Right in the wintertime.
Many years ago, I'd say maybe 30 years ago.
The ditches were just level with snow. You could hardly see the fence posts, So then...
they were traveling with all the equipment, and they had a trailer and whatever, and Leroy and I were traveling on our own vehicle. And so we get to the gig, and of course we're waiting for the band to show up, and it gets closer and closer to...
What town was it?
That was the phone. If that's my husband, I'm not here. Okay. So we're waiting for the band to show up, and it gets closer and closer, and that 8 o'clock hour is rolling around, and we're thinking, oh my goodness. So it got to be about 5 minutes before showtime, and we went to the promoter and said, and the owner of the facility, and said, don't worry about it. I mean, Leroy and I are here. We have our guitars and whatever.
We won't let you down. We'll do our whole show just if I
we'll
have
do
to
an
play
acoustic
guitar
show,
and
and we'll sing for the folks and everything.
without a band if we have to.
And just before we were about to do that, the back of the stage doors opened up, and boom, there was the band with a story.
Yep, and they had quite a story too. They said, well, the reason we're just barely made it in time was we're driving down the highway somewhere in Saskatchewan, I forget what it was, and it was the dead of winter, and Donnie Peranto looks around, and they're going along, and he said, Freddie, who was driving, he said, Freddie, no trailer behind us.
Where's the trailer?
So they're going along, so they stopped and spun around, went back, and there was the trailer a few miles back. It had went right in the ditch, pretty good, just right in there. So a farmer came by.
Farmer came by and helped to get the trailer out of the ditch and back on the hitched back to the back of their vehicle.
And off they went with the trailer
back.
with all the equipment, and none of the equipment had spilled out into the snow.
So this was the story. So needless to say, we were very skeptical.
Yeah, it
the
seemed
story.
like quite a story, but
But we were glad to see them. But that's just one of the things that happened.
truth is stranger than fiction, I guess.
The
I don't
trailer
know.
story.
Well, there we go. One clean road story. So let's get you both singing us a song now. I believe right now we got Donna and Leroy, and they're going to be doing a song called "Christmas Time's a Comin'."
Get you in the mood here.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Well, Christmas time's a comin', Christmas time's a comin', Christmas time's a comin', and I know I'm going home. Snowflakes are falling, my old home's a calling, tall pines are humming, Christmas time's a comin'. Can't you hear them bells ringing, ringing, joy, joy, hear them singing, when it's snowing I'll be going back to my country home. Well, Christmas time's a comin', Christmas time's a comin', Christmas time's a comin', and I know I'm going home. Well, white candles burning, my own heart's a yearning for the folks at home when Christmas time's a comin'. Can't you hear them bells ringing, ringing, joy, joy, hear them singing, when it's snowing I'll be going back to my country home. Leroy. Well, holly's in the window, home's where the wind blows. I can't walk for running, 'cause Christmas time's a comin'. Can't you hear them bells ringing, ringing, joy, joy, hear them singing, when it's snowing I'll be going back to my country home. Well, Christmas time's a comin', Christmas time's a comin', Christmas time's a comin', and I know I'm going home. Well, Christmas time's a comin', Christmas time's a comin', Christmas time's a comin', and I know I'm going home. Take us out, Leroy.
This, it's not
Started to
often.
go
I haven't
drift
been
down.
listening to a ton of banjo Christmas songs, so it's it's definitely good to be hearing that. So
Well, there's no song that Leroy can't play on the banjo.
Well,
I'm here to say, after 51 years of marriage,
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just a banjo playing guy. I mean, crazy. I get crazy at time. I drive her crazy. That's for sure.
yeah, but you can't play a sad song on the banjo, so
No,
that's
that's
a
true.
good thing.
no, that's definitely a thing. Now let's just go back to 51 years of marriage. Now, you guys got married before you actually became a duo in music. I mean, what's the most miraculous thing? That long being married or that long being musicians together?
Well, the first miracle, I would say, was when Donna met me. No, I
Was
met
that my lucky day?
I met her, and she was all freckles and long brown hair. She come skipping down
Brown
the.
anymore.
I was listening to songs to record for RCA on my first album, and we were in the basement of our producer in Gary Buck in Kitchener, Ontario, and Gary's wife called Donna up in Sault Ste. Marie, don't you know? And Jean Buck, she said, "Come on down, and there's a guy from Balzac here in the basement."
Where's that?
Yeah, what the heck is that, or where's that? So she did. She hopped on a plane and come, and down she came, and that was it. I saw her, and, well, she was 17, and I was like maybe 20. And here we are, still playing music together. Is that not awesome? Yeah.
Nobody else will have
And
us, so
then-
we have each other.
Then we got lucky and got asked by Tommy Hunter.
It was really Tommy that put us together as a duo per se. We had individual recording careers, and we actually had a band for many, many years. We kind of worked mostly out here in Western Canada, and we had a group called Harmony Road. And after a few years of that, we decided we were a little tired of having a band on the road and that, which I'm sure if there's musicians in the house or out there watching or listening can attest to that. So
We had a good band, though.
yeah,
Oh,
we
boy.
went to, we decided to move to Toronto, get a permanent address, and we became a duo, sort of per se, and we're playing some of the steakhouses and little lounges and that. And we happened to bump into Tommy at an industry, a Canadian country music industry function, and we kind of filled him in as to what we were doing and all that. And about a year later, he called us on the phone and said they were making some changes on the television show. He'd already been on with the Hunter Show for about 11 years at that point. And he asked us if we were interested in really becoming a duo, that he'd be interested in putting us on his television show. So
And
that was
luckily we were a duo,
yes.
and we were married, and he wanted that image on his show. So he
Yeah.
called us one spring day. The phone rang. Hello.
That
is-
was
says,
1975.
Tommy Hunter here, and I said, "Tommy Hunter, well, how you doing, sir?" And then that's how it began. But
Yeah,
you-
that was the spring of 75, so we started on the show in the fall of 1975.
And
so-
Tommy was always on our side. He always made sure that we got back on the show every year, and we were 17 years on national.
Nice.
We were on the Nashville network, you name it, but we had a great time.
To answer your question there, Glenn, yeah, I guess each of it is just as miraculous. The fact that how we met each other in Kitchener, Ontario, and then being able to work together, which the television show was so great that way because we almost had a real life. We went home after in the evening and that, we were off the road, so that was really good. So we've been very, very fortunate to be together all these years.
Now, I did read that you were prepping up for a tour to go to like New Zealand for 3 weeks, and then
We were.
Tommy called. Did you get to do the New Zealand tour still?
We did, and we didn't know when we got back that if it was for sure or not. And we didn't find out till about midsummer that they were going to put us on for the first year. And it was a couple of years back and forth till we finally signed a contract for future years. But it was kind of a process. But
It was amazing, I'll tell you.
it was wonderful,
It was
yes.
really, and when we went to New Zealand, there was 20 million sheep and
1 million people.
1 million people. And then about 10 years later, there was 50 million sheep and
But anyway,
1.5 million people. Just a bit of
We're not
trivia there. But we had a beautiful time there flying over those mountains.
Yeah, 50 million sheep. Ew. Thank you.
all
Thank
very
you.
friendly.
Yes.
Very friendly.
So, well, you know, and I'm pretty sure everybody in Canada is familiar with the Tommy Hunter show at some point. It's got to have you know, well, at certain ages. Obviously, it's been off the air for a few years, so my kids don't actually understand that. And I'm kind of interested,
Right.
maybe on the thought process. We used to have a lot more of those kinds of shows. I mean, obviously, back in Ontario, there were different shows because I believe, Donna, you were appearing on shows quite regularly at that point. So going into something like the Tommy Hunter show, which was just the complete national version of the show, we just don't seem to have things like that anymore. Is that like a complete lost art form as the music variety show?
Well, not really. I don't think so. It's just morphed and reinvented itself. Like back then, we started in '75, but there were television shows like in the 1950s when television first came on. You know, the variety show was kind of the type of show that they had. But now with all the social media and the talent shows, like with America's Got Talent and what was the original one?
Star Search, maybe?
No,
You Can Be a
American
Star.
Idol.
Yeah,
And all those shows, they became the new variety shows, right? And now you don't have to leave your house to see a movie or anything like that. You know, everything is just so much more that way. But those are the variety shows back then. But back then, that's where you saw your talent, and everybody wanted to get on a television show to have that kind of exposure. But nowadays, it's just different, and it's wonderful how it's grown. I mean, there's way more opportunities for artists now to be seen and heard. They don't have to get out on the road and travel hundreds of miles and be
There's
away
not
from
as
home.
many live venues for music as there used to be, because people don't have to go out to see entertainment as much as they used to.
But they've come back, I believe. I believe that there's a lot more live music out there now than there was before COVID, and now we're after COVID. So it's nice to see all the venues supporting live music and local musicians, and such as we are here this evening.
Well, it's definitely, I like that traditional approach of being able to see something live. And speaking of traditional approaches, you have what I would consider a very traditional Christmas song for our listeners, a version of Silver Bells. If you would be so inclined, we'd love to hear it.
Right, and we're gonna, if we could just mention, I know there's people at home watching and listening, and we have a dear friend in Toronto, Ontario, actually Scarborough, Ontario, who's kind of fighting a serious illness right now, and I think they might be watching and listening, so we just want to give a shout out to them. Hello to the Smart family, Jane and John, Veronica, and all their family.
Maybe
And
Kirsten.
we're thinking of them, and we'll dedicate this song to them.
1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, greeting smile after smile. And on every street corner, you'll hear the silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city.
Ring-a-ling,
Hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. streetlights, even stoplights, blink of bright red and green as the shoppers rush home with their treasures. Hear the snow crunch, see the kids bunch. This is Santa's big scene, and above all, the bustle you'll hear. The silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. The ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Thank you. Thank you.
Did we sound just like two people?
Oh, hell.
We
At least two people.
Actually, at one point, I kind of was trying to look around the little barrier we have because I could almost hear bells in there, and I was like, okay, so somebody's got. I think Donna, you've got your capo up there, so you're hearing.
Donna's earrings are bells.
Oh, is that maybe that's what it was? I just felt I heard like the bells in the guitar playing too, and I think it was just the higher tone of one. I was like, wow, it actually felt like there was three instruments at certain times.
I
So.
actually threw in a few bell sounds on the guitar.
We have to thank our friend Andrew out here. I had a music stand malfunction earlier as we arrived, and he just found a way to fix it, so we do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
He's pretty handy, that Andrew.
And maybe it was Glenn that started that, but I'm giving you the credit,
It
Andrew.
was amazing. We had a rivet missing on our brand new music stand, and by golly, if he went flying out there and brought back a screw and just put it in, it's fixed.
We have some familiar
great,
faces
man.
in the house this evening and I know there's folks out there and watching this on the podcast, but we have some Gosling families here that we haven't seen. The last time we saw you guys and we were in Langdon, they didn't have a stoplight. So that was a while ago. They didn't even have a Tim Hortons.
We've come a
Oh, my
long way
goodness.
here in Langdon.
And Terry and Keith are here. Thanks for coming out, folks. And we've met some new friends here this evening. So
My friend Keith down there, he one of my big hits on RCA was the Balzac Boogie, which goes back to about 1970. So a lot of you weren't born then, but I had an instrumental on the banjo called Balzac Boogie, and it's a really cooks, man. It's a great track. And my friend Keith, I said, Keith, can you put that at any speed, but still not make it change keys? And he did it. I got it like speed 195 up to 255. And he put it all on one little CD. I had the CD that I taped from the record, the single record on RCA, and it sounds great. And that's how I practice, because of Keith. Thank you, Keith.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
That's definitely a trick. Learn something fast, and then when you go to play it slower, it's like, yay, this is easy. When you guys, when the Tommy Hunter show wrapped and it finished off,
1992.
92, you ended up, taking a little bit of time, but you ended up moving down to Nashville, and you've been there, you were there 26 years. Now you've just kind of come back. Like, are you already regretting that decision based on just the warmth?
Well, we came back to Calgary. We retired. We were in Nashville for 26 years. Still did some singing. Leroy did some songwriting, and we also morphed into other sort of lines of work. I became a travel agent. Leroy started working and worked in a pathology lab, if you can imagine. And but anyway,
and I was doing a lot of writing too, and I wrote a song, got it recorded by Gene Watson. That was kind of exciting.
Very
Said,
nice.
All hat, no cattle.
yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, we moved back here in the fall. We moved to back here to Calgary. We wanted to come back to Canada to retire, and we thought about Southern Ontario because we lived there for many, many years, and I'm from Ontario. But I'm an only girl. I have no siblings, and my mom and dad are both gone. And Leroy has a lot of family out here in Alberta and this part of Alberta, Calgary and area. So we thought, well, I think we better go back there. That's where family is now. So we're delighted. But to answer your question, first of all, I wanted to say that year, 2018, the second week of September, it snowstorm. There had to be 2 feet of snowfall. It was one of the worst snow. I said to Leroy, I'm getting back on a plane and I'm going back to Tennessee.
Welcome to southern Alberta.
Oh boy.
Easy on the southern, but that's Alberta and that's Calgary weather in the wintertime.
But we do not regret it. No, we do not.
My dad
we love being here.
had a dairy farm just down the Delacour Road, which is now Country Hills Boulevard. So I was raised on the dairy, and our address was RR2 Balzac. So hence the Balzac.
There you go.
Okay, now
Yeah, it'd be a little different of a song if you had to write a Balzac boogie now, because you probably have to mention a mall and
Yeah.
you know, and all that. A couple of malls, I think they've got.
yeah,
out there.
just about a mile from where the mall's at is Balzac. There's a song there. More words for
We
the
always
Balzac.
considered Calgary as the suburb of Balzac anyway.
Well, I can see that happening. And so while you were down in Nashville, and I guess, I mean, maybe I shouldn't even just say that, 26 years down there, you probably met a lot of interesting people, but at the same time, like, you had so much time on, a top-rated Canadian show where people were just begging to get on it. Like, when you look back now, who are some of the, touring artists, massive country musicians that came through that show as kind of a break where you met them on their ascension into superstardom?
Well, the most exciting thing was for me to meet Glenn Campbell and sing with him, and a lot of the big stars that came on our show. And a very exciting thing was when Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys came down and did our show a couple times, and his banjo player had this new banjo that was custom made by Gibson, custom shop in Nashville, and he said. Oh, I said, wow, is that beautiful, all handmade? And he said, would you like to play it? And I said, gee, I would. So I played it, and he said, maybe I can get you one. So that banjo over there was made by Gibson for me, right from scratch. Let's have a big hand for the banjo, though.
Yeah.
Come on. That thing really cranks out, I'm telling you. It just sounds better every time I played the Balzac Boogie, I think, 9,000 times now.
For me, it's hard to answer that question to say, who stands out, because almost everybody does. We were very fortunate to work with some of our musical heroes when we were growing up and just getting started in the music business, and it was wonderful to just, be able to share a stage with them and meet and talk with them. But a couple that stand out for me, I think Leroy and I both started crying when we saw when Roy Rogers and Dale Evans came in to the dressing room. Like, we were just, our mouths were open, and they were so sweet, and they talked to us just like they were your aunt and uncle.
So I told
And,
Roy, who was sitting to my left, and Dale was on my right, in the wardrobe in the makeup room at CBC, and they were, and they were talking to me like they were my grandpa and grandpa, and they were talking back and forth, and I said to Roy, Roy, I had a beautiful Roy Rogers lunch pail with a matching Roy Rogers thermos on my first day of school that my mommy bought me, and he said, do you still have it? I said, no, I don't have it anymore. He said, that's too bad, but they were a wonderful couple.
They when they talked to one another back and forth, they called each other Mom and Dad.
Yeah, it was pretty
She'd
cute.
call him Dad, and he'd call her Mom. The only other person I think that really stands out for me, I'm sure a lot of people may know who she is, was Dottie West. She was a big influence on me and the songs I like to listen to and still sing to this day. And she came in, and she had all her Bob Mackie designed clothes. She had a whole rack of them, and I just stood there and looked at them. But she was just such a nice person.
Down
So
to earth.
that was a big moment for me, that's
And
for
Loretta
sure.
Lynn, she was down to earth too. Beautiful people.
Well, we could talk
Yeah.
about them all
Oh.
night, that's for sure.
Well, that's amazing for anybody who's not necessarily totally familiar. Maybe a little too young to have watched the show. You pulled out some great names, but of course, there's you've got your Loretta Lynn's, your Garth Brooks. You've got like anybody who was coming through. That was what you did in Canada.
That's right.
Because that's how you got the entire country. So. And I guess I should point out, and now here you are with Glenn and Matt.
Yeah, that's
How's that treating you?
Fine and dandy. One of the highlights of our careers, absolutely. Actually, I think this is the first time we've actually ever sang or played in Langdon.
No.
We've been all around the circle here, but never in Langdon, so we're just delighted.
I played several times in Chestermere High School because
Played is a
I
key
opened
word
the
here.
school. When it started, Chestermere High School, in grade 7. We started there, and it was brand new then. So that's how old I am.
Distinguished alumni of
Chestermere
High
High.
School.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
he actually has a plaque at home.
Yeah,
that
get
he's in
this.
the- Chestermere.
I'm down in Nashville there,
Oh,
and all of a sudden in the mail comes a package for me. I take it out of the paper and it says, Leroy Anderson, Chestermere Hall, inductee into the fine arts. A plaque. I got it at home. I was so proud. But I guess they remember me and all my shenanigans and stuff. But we had met a lot of good friends, and some of which are here tonight.
oh.
And
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, let's do another song here before we start comparing, Chestermere High, plaques to like the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame plaques, So we'll get another song and then we'll get some more talking in. So,
Okay.
which song were you going to do for us this time?
Well, this is a song that we kind of rediscovered not too long ago, and we were big fans of a musical fellow by the name of Leon Redbone, and we
Fabulous entertainer.
just loved him. And we found a version of a song that he did. A lot of people have recorded this song, and it was written a long time ago.
The Andrews sisters.
Many even the Andrews sisters recorded this song.
That's way back.
We thought it would be kind of appropriate, don't you think, Leroy? So we can kind of get away from sleigh bells and get away from snow, and we can take a break from winter. I know a place we can go. How'd you like to spend Christmas on Christmas Island? How'd you like to take a holiday away across the sea? How'd you like to spend Christmas on Christmas Island? How'd you like to hang your stocking on a great big coconut tree? How'd you like to stay up late like the islanders do? Wait for Santa to sail in with your presents in a canoe. If you ever spend Christmas on Christmas Island, you ain't ever stray for every day your Christmas dreams come true. All right, Leroy. How'd you like to stay up late like the islanders do? Wait for Santa to sail in with your presents in a canoe. If you ever spend Christmas on Christmas Island, you will never stray for every day your Christmas dreams come true. Oh You will never stray, for every day your Christmas dreams come true.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Yes. You realize a week from today is actually Christmas Day. Those of us that are fortunate enough to sit down to a hearty meal will be getting pretty full by now, I think.
Well, you just panicked my wife. She's like not done her shopping yet, so she's just freaking out now.
She still has time. She still has time.
Oh, lots of time. The the holiday, and maybe there's something funny about that too. Is doing 26 years in Nashville, you didn't get that much snow down there. It was a pretty freak occurrence.
Well, when they did, it was a panic city.
But I notice this, and I make a joke when I'm performing Christmas songs about the concept of places that don't have snow, trying to sing songs that are like Let It Snow, or anything that has snow in it, or sleigh bells ringing. What was the main difference being down there where there is no snow when you're singing Christmas songs?
Well, you didn't really think about it that much. It could get a little chilly in that, And
But
honestly, we didn't really miss the snow, to be honest with you. We got used to not seeing
Good point.
the winters were very mild, of course, and then, of course, the redbud trees would be blooming in February or March.
But it would be
Almost.
kind of interesting if they did get a little skiff of snow, and we could get those kind of terrible icy storms down there. But being good Canadians, we kind of knew how to navigate through some of that stuff. And
I got a little story. I was driving along when a snowstorm hit Nashville. I'm driving, and there's all hills in Nashville, because Tennessee is all hills and valleys and rivers and streams and ponds and lakes. And anyway, I'm driving along, and it's pretty icy, but it was just nothing to a guy from Alberta. So I'm driving along, and also I start to see cars pulled over to the side of the road. Every 200 feet, there'd be a car pulled over, and no driver in it. I thought, what happened to the people? Well, I guess they just parked. They were so scared. And then they walked down to the service station or something. I don't know.
they would just abandon their cars. They'd get to the
was
bottom of
funny.
a hill, and they'd just gun it.
Oh,
And they wouldn't get halfway up, and then, of course, they couldn't get any further up the hill. So poor souls, they just have to abandon the guitar. But I just kind of crept up. I'd be the only one at work some days because, the Canadians showed up all the time.
well, it actually kind of sounds like Vancouver with snow too.
But, I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood here. Knock, 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 knock. I don't think we're going to have a white Christmas this year. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, there'll be something. You never know. You never know
with
how it
Calgary.
works.
Just wait 5 minutes and we'll see what happens, right?
Well, I always laughed about the concept of snow up here too, especially in Calgary, because we go through this a little differently, where all of a sudden we got snow and then there's no snow. So I always thought about Frosty the Snowman. It's like 9 a.m. It's like, hey everybody, I'm Frosty the Snowman. Let's play. And then all of a sudden it's like noon, and no, I gotta go. I'm melting.
He's gone.
And then he might come back at 5 o'clock at night. I don't know. It doesn't quite work the same way in our area.
No,
But-
no,
True.
no.
Very true.
Now, and I should stress, the reason, we always have reasons people come on our show. And for anybody at home, the big reason right now is they are here. They live here now. This is the big reason. It's, hey, guess what, everybody? We've decided to come back and we're playing
back.
music. Yeah. So
Well, we just had to get back to Alberta, to Canada, to retire. And there
Well,
was...
we're not really retired.
Well,
retired.
we're sort of retired, but we're starting to play music again. And that's what we do. And we're still together playing music. So,
We just kind of wanted people to know that we are alive.
and
In case you were wondering where we went,
but
we
I
are
was
alive.
so thrilled when Donna agreed that we'd go to Alberta to retire, because my old stomping grounds, and all the Bow River and all the good trout fishing up in the mountains there, and all the nice, great people I met at Olds College. I went to there, and I met a lot of great friends from there too, farmers and ranchers and cowboys.
You did, yes.
So for everybody who's out there now, this is one of my big topics. Is we talk about how to break it into the music industry these days, and how musicians have to work with TikTok and social media. Now, Donna and Leroy don't have any of that. That's not. This is not how.
Not at this time.
We're not playing. Well, if you guys get on TikTok, you're coming back on our show, please, and we're going to discuss what that does for you.
On that.
Yeah, we'd be delighted to do that. Donna's just taken up the guitar here.
I know. Maybe
About a year and a half ago.
Maybe
Let's
this
have a hand for Donna doing
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good on the
great.
guitar
Wow.
already. You know.
It's my COVID project. I don't know if this is kosher to say this or not, but I mean, there are cattle people here. I'm sure we're in that part of the country. And they refer to this new technology as AI. But when I was first in Alberta, AI meant something completely different. And I'm sure if there are farmers and ranchers here. So the first time we heard it, I said, Leroy, what are they talking about?
There's
So
some
I
kind of
won't get
new
into
AI
details,
going
but
on,
I think you know what I mean.
yeah, cattlemen know.
So if somebody's watching this right now or is out there and they're going, how do we get in contact with you? Because we do want you to come and do something. We want you to play it. What's the best way somebody can actually find you?
Well, right now, just
give us
whip
a
us off an
call.
email, dlaforever@comcast.net.
Nice.
Look at this. I'm adding it into our chat room right now here.
Okay.
E-L-A.
Forever at
and the
comcast.net.
chat room too, by the way, has got some great names. You did pull out a song, and you mentioned some people going through some hard times, and they were on here, and they actually made a
good.
nice comment. So that was.
Lovely.
You can maybe look at that later. We'll show you where that is and
Great.
and
Okay.
help that out. And I love the
Wonderful.
Comcast because, of course, that is the most American thing you can possibly have. Is that as an address?
Yeah, we kept that so as not to confuse ourselves with a new email address and others.
And I'm texting now, so just saying.
Good for you.
So there we go. So one more time, I mean, thank you very much for coming on here, Donna and Leroy. And obviously, we probably could have done 2 or 3 episodes. You guys have more stories than most people. You know, we do a lot of people who are coming on the other side of that, and they're just starting. And it's nice to see
Well.
people who have got some, some road miles and some history, because the stories are just so much fun for us to cuddle up in this Christmas season in here.
We got a lot
Well, we
of
appreciate
stories.
you, both of you, Glenn and Matt, for inviting us, and we hope we can come back, and maybe sometime we can actually come here to the Firehouse, which is a great venue, our first time here.
Maybe
I know
we'll
they
do a
have
gig here.
They have all kinds
Because
of
we
music.
just live like 20
Yeah.
minutes from here.
I bet we
In,
could figure out how to do a show out here for sure.
Mackenzie,
Why
Mackenzie
not?
Town's where we live, so
That'd
it's
be
not
great.
far.
Oh, you're in just
Yeah. So now
Mactown.
I do have a question though.
Oh.
What is in the fridge?
We've had a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Okay.
Oh, where'd Matt go with He took the fridge away.
What are we having a party
Oh,
now?
I got
or
it.
what's
What
the
do we
deal?
have in the fridge here, Matt?
We've got look at this. It's our friends at Club
Oh,
Car
Club
Beverages
Car.
and the marvelous Sea Breeze sparkling vodka cocktail. This is, and you know what? I like how we get this one every time my wife shows up. You can put this one out because this is her favorite. You're
Oh,
so
yeah,
you're
I
so
do-
smart.
this
Yeah,
is for you.
So
Yeah.
smart. All right, so we're going to basically be pouring these out, and then everybody who's out there can have a sample of it. So if you don't want one, just give it to somebody who wants 2. That kind of works. Are you going to do it, or am I? Oh well. Maybe we'll make Andrew do that too. He looks cute. He can wander around and do that. All right. That's. Look at that. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like, because it's what we should do is we should have one of these, and we'll pour it right away, and let's give one to Donna and Leroy. Do you guys want one of our drinks? Well, might as well. And the one thing about Club Car Beverages, for anybody out there too, is every time they sell one of the cans, 25 cents from the can goes to a group called the Prophets of Music, which is an organization that helps local talent, and it helps people get established. It helps people in times of trouble, all musicians and stuff. So it's a worthwhile cause for us, for sure.
It looks
So-
very festive.
It's all natural flavoring and
Very nice.
natural coloring.
And I'd like to
It's
thank the
gluten-free.
lady that brought me that beer. Thank you very much. It tasted just like beer because I'm not a big fan of the flavored beers. Well, you know, I like beer to taste like beer, you know. But, I mean, so thanks for that.
This is
yeah,
delicious.
this looks interesting.
Cheers.
Jana, do you want to come and give some samples out to our friends here?
Thank
Is that
you.
okay?
And that, of course, is Janet here at the Firehouse because we're live. And now
That's
everybody
good.
who's here is getting a chance to sample this. Well, let's pop off. And we've got our next thing, which is the Wheel of Shenanigans. This is the fun part where the walls come down. Da-da-da. Yeah, that's exactly it here. Donna just looking goes, oh, what? Somebody can win a trip? And I go, yeah, our show budget might get them to Balzac. Which is probably, it seems like it's a pretty good place. So,
So we've heard.
so
Second prize is 2 weeks.
yeah, second prize. That's usually my joke with banjos.
First prize
like,
is 1 week.
I was worried. I was driving somewhere and I had my banjo in the car and I left the window of my car open. I didn't realize what happened, and all of a sudden I was panicked. Like it was open. So I came back after a while, and I was horrified to find it. I had 3 banjos in my car now, and it was, thank you.
Well, you know what? You know what a lawyer and a banjo player have in common is everybody's happy when the case is finally closed.
Oh, yeah. And there's jokes to be had.
Yeah,
And
that's
speaking
right.
about things to be had, on our wheel, we have 2 spots that are open for anybody who wants to sponsor a small part of our show and help me go back to Beauticians College. I'm
Yes.
Yes, or wherever
It's
I go.
needed.
Whatever happens. We've got 2 spots here.
Contact us if you want to get your company or your event onto the wheel.
Yeah, individual events work real well. Our friend here, Kerry, who's watching online, he runs a company called Zed Trucking that has big trucks that move big things in places that need to be there. So basically, if you are looking for that, send us a message. Anybody on this
We'll
wheel,
get
you
you
send
in
us a
touch with
message
Zed.
and we'll get you in touch with that. This is a piano song for Glenn's mom. She's also watching, but no piano song for you this week.
Sorry for the disappointment, Mom.
Matt's vanity spot, that's totally for me. You know what? If you're going to do anything for my vanity spot, I've got a couple of Christmas songs that you can spin. They are on the Apple Music and all that stuff. One's called Christmas in Calgary. The other one's called Christmas Time Again, which you might recognize because we cut a bit of the music out, the piano solo. That's the bit for the road story when you see the piano or the cat, flying off.
Amazing piano solo.
Exactly. So those 2 songs, if you type Matt Beatty in those, you can give them a spin, and hopefully you'll like them and make a part of your Christmas tradition. Me. That's right. Country Music Alberta.
Thank you, Country Music Alberta.
Yeah, right now it's exciting times there. They're on the first ballot nomination process, so everybody's got a chance to, whoever a voting member is. So go on there and vote for some things. And we'll be looking forward to that process as we're going to get down to the big awards season. Believe it, where was it this year?
It's in Edmonton this year.
Wow, that'll be fun.
We'll have to pack up our troubles.
That's right, or get new ones. Of course, the Langham Firehouse, great entertainment all week, including like games nights and different things. New Year's tickets, I don't know if they have any open still, but they're going to put on a great spread. The food is fantastic out here. So come down and see it and support them as much as they're helping to support live music everywhere. Barterville, our friend Rick down the way here, right beside the firehouse is Barterville. He was here.
He was here. I
Yeah.
don't know if he still is.
But he'll do things, fix your iPad screen. He's got power cables. He's got records. He's got all sorts of goofy stuff. So I think we even have some prizes. If this comes up anywhere on there, we'll figure out some prizes for anybody out there in the crowd. So here we go.
Spin her up.
Oh, look at it. It came up with Matt's vanity spot. Look at that. It couldn't come up the piano song for Glenn's mom. There's no
we
piano.
couldn't do that.
There's no piano. So one lucky, yeah.
We do have a special song for Matt's vanity spot, and it has a Christmassy theme as well.
Yeah, As a matter of fact, we're going to give out one of my CDs to somebody out there. Well, one of my double suede CDs, but somebody's going to get a free one out there. Whoever wants one, we'll talk to you after. So it's Matt's Vantage Spot. It's a giveaway. Now, I did like that they chose a song, our guest, Donna Leroy, because they didn't want to deal with just the jingle bells and all that. So they picked out the Island song, and it's a bit of a different feeling. I like that, and I wanted to do the same thing. I didn't want it to be like a totally over-the-top traditional Christmas song. So here's something a little different for you. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. Oh, you're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic on your soul, Mr. Grinch. And I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites on your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Now, given the choice between the two of you, I'd take the seasick crocodile. Oh, you're a rotter, Mr. Grinch. You're the king of sinful sots. Your heart's a dead tomato splotch with moldy purple spots, Mr. Grinch. Now you are a 3-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. Oh, you nauseate me, Mr. Grinch. With a nauseous super nos. You're a crooked jerky jockey and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Grinch. Your soul is an appalling dump heap, overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of rubbish imaginable, mangled up, tangled up, nos. Oh, you're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, waxy skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. And the 3 words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote, stink, stank, stunk. As far away from Christmas as a Christmas song can be. That's right. That would be it there.
Well, that brings us to the end of another episode.
Oh, let's one more time. Let's thank Donna and Leroy one more time. Thank you very much for coming on.
For Donna and Leroy.
Hopefully we'll be able to broker some big concerts or something, or get you back on the show sometime. It would be very fun.
Yep.
As well as, of course, our sponsors and our friends here at the Firehouse for hosting us every week. And again, we're off for 2 weeks. They're still open. They're still doing all sorts of good stuff, but we're just off here for the next 2 weeks. So we'll be back January 4th, I think it is. No. It's 8th. I was doing the math there. 1 + 7, 8. Yeah, got it. So we'll be back then. And we already have a guest for that show, don't we?
We sure do. Mr. Cole Malone.
Cole Malone was going to be coming on. And if you're unaware of Mr. Cole Malone, he is a rising star. He's actually on the nomination ballots at our sponsors, Country Music Alberta. He's up for, I believe, Male Horizon Entertainer of the Year. But he is releasing, just before he comes on the show, our theme song for our show. I don't even know what it's called.
He donated the theme song
Yeah.
for our show.
Yeah,
And,
and-
he's releasing it as a single on December 29th.
Yeah, so if you've ever wanted to hear the full version of it, here it comes. It'll be out as a single, so that's great. And then, of course, our friends at Aspen Crossing, get down and check out the Polar Express while you still can.
Yep. Origin Beverages.
And, of course, Club Car, that was in the fridge tonight, Club Car Beverages.
Bobcat Jerry.
And Bobcat Matt.
And Zero Squared Tiny Homes.
Yes, you guys got something really new cooking down there at Zero Square?
Oh, we got all kinds of backyard suites going on.
Oh, backyard suites. Private yoga studios.
Whatever you need, Matt.
No, as soon as I said that, I'm getting, what? Hello? All right, so, and then, of course, Merry Christmas to all of you for watching the show. Anybody who's got a little diamond beside their name in our social, in the comment section, thank you so very much for watching all the time.
Yes,
really
thank you so
appreciate
much.
it. Oh, yes. Because it stretches, that's right. You never know. I might just say something like that. But I'm getting good advice from the musicians on the show now.
Whether we need it or not.
But and everybody at home and everybody here, big hand for Glenn. And a little Merry Christmas cheer for my friend here who puts on all the hard work here.
And a great job to you too, Matt.
All I do is talk. That's it. So thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you on the 8th.
That's all, folks. See you next week.